of this episode. Let's continue to grind and shine. The name is Law Nation. Be sure on your way in, hit the like, slap the share button, and let's continue to grow. And as the nation grow, we all grow, right? One way or another, baby. DC for life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. The off season is always a long one. It is. But this off season, I can't wait for it to be over with. I can't. You need to hurry up and get up out of here. Yeah. Expectations, the reality of the moment, the situation, without deviations to the matter. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Appreciate you. The name is Law Nation. We're going to talk Cowboys sports and of course, some other news that's around the way. I've seen somebody put Treylon Burks, baby. Treylon is nice, you know. I got some underdogs, man. I like Calvin Austin, right? And I know a lot of people may look at that and say, hey, he's a tiny guy. And he's shifty, though. He's so shifty, man. And I just look at the way they utilize him in their system in Memphis. I mean, come on. We need that guy that's quick, that can take the top off the defense, that can threaten the defense as well, and find the soft spots in the zone. I do know that Treylon Burks would be nice, strong, physical type of wide receiver that you can do just about anything with him and his skill set. Pluck the ball out of the sky, big boy, right? And what about the Cowboys doing something different? What about them doing something that's out of the realms of what they normally do? In the last few years, you know, they take risk at the second round draft pick. We've seen how that operated, whether it be a health situation or off the field deal. They say, hey, in the second round, we're going to get down, all right? And we've seen how that is all hitting us in the face now, right? Sean Lee, he was a risky type of guy. One can argue as far as his injury situation. It was a very, very risk situation. Jalen Smith, risk situation. Randy Gregory, risque, right? It's very risk. How was it? It's a high rewards, high risk. However it goes. It's not low risk, high rewards. It's high risk, high rewards if you get those things going. And then, of course, Kelvin Joseph. We can't get the news out of the way without talking about Kelvin Joseph. And look, let's go safe with it this time, Cowboy Nation. And rely on the coaches to coach the player, not coach the off-the-field issues. And one can argue that we will always have some type of off-the-field issues and things like that. But you can circumvent it by doing your homework, right? Yeah, high risk, high rewards. Yeah, that's right, George. You know, I'm everywhere this morning. But, yeah, I see somebody, Terrence Short said Chris Olave. Oh, my gosh. Looking at his film, yeah, I like that too. I do. But if the Cowboys can do this, our prediction would be that they trade up into the 15. Cowboys move up into 15, and they get someone that can help out as it relates to a big boy on the defensive side. Let's do something different, baby. Let's do some different things around here, right? Cowboys been doing the same thing over and over and over again, trying to get different results. But can somebody tell me what is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, you know, but he's still getting the same thing? Oh, my God, Mr. Wright says Kenyon Green is a good situation in scenario. I like Kenyon Green. I like him. I like Zion better. Oh, my gosh. You know, Kenyon is good, you know, as far as being that big plug, big body inside on the offensive side of the coin. But when you look at Zion tape, if you really did your homework and you look at compare the two, the way Zion gets to the second level, the way he can hit one and move off the other, then look down the field, march down the field, looking for stuff to move out the way. You did your homework when you look at that Zion. You look at that Zion tape, you be like, yeah. And now you start to think of it not as an isolation. Yeah, shout out to you, George Insanity. Not from an isolation situation. But you look at it like this, in conjunction with Tyler Biotish, in conjunctions with Tyron Smith. You start looking at it, how they're going to work with each other, how they're going to blend, right? Green band for his size. For his size is incredible, Jay Lombardi. Yes, for his size, it's incredible. But then I go back to this strength situation. Now, my total argument would be off of pure, raw strength. If I got Zion bench pressing 32 reps for 225, and I got Kenyon Green that only mustering out 20, that's a big gap. Now, I could see if Kenyon Green did like 28, maybe 26. He did 20 of them, man. Back in my heyday, I can at least, I ain't never hit that thing like that. But, dog, come on, man. I never was 300 pounds either. Chris, Zion possibly at center. My thing is, Chris, appreciate you. My thing is with that, Chris, is this right here. If Zion get to that situation in center, we would have three of them. Let's not sleep on Matt Farniok. Let's not sleep on that. And let's see how all of this offseason work its way out. Who remembers Larry Allen? Look at Zion. This is Marcus Warner. And my guy, Mr. Antoine, says he's seen Zion get pushed back. Right? I seen Ken Young get folded too. But this is not about that. I'm looking at it like this, Cowboy Nation. And this is the area, the gray area of the draft, the area of the unknown. One thing that I can tell you guys, it's hard to look at a player for where they at and see where they're going to go, right? Because no one last year was saying around this time, look, Parsons, generational talent. He's going to be this guy that's going to be able to just set the league on fire. No one was saying that. If so, nobody was saying that, hey, he's going to put everything on fire. Let me blow my fire out. Nobody was saying that. No one. Because they didn't know. He didn't play all of the season before, right? Yeah. I hear we love Miche. Yeah. 5'11" receiver. Yeah, I like Miche. 5'11", got a little quickness, a little burst, more quick than he is fast. I like that. Stay tuned until 1 a.m. Appreciate you, JT. Appreciate you. Even just help keep the position competitive. Yeah, I want these boys to be so competitive. And if you look at the thumbnail, and I had a thumbnail right here. If you look at the thumbnail, you will see that I have Marcus Jones and as well as Calvin Austin III. Both of those guys, you put their heights together and they still won't hit 6 feet. Just joking. But they are smaller guys that's quick and elusive. And then with Marcus Jones, you look at his tape. I mean, gosh. He had 5 INTs last season. He got range. You can play him on offense and defense. And one of the things that we have been missing, literally been missing out on, special teams. Now, shout out to Tony Pollard. He's been showing up on special teams. But if you get a quick, elusive guy like this guy, a weapon, that teams are going to have to say, all right, look, this dude had over 9 or 10 kickoff returns. Wonderful. And he a thumper. And I like the mindset. It's all about a mindset type of game that I'm looking for. Law, do we trade up to stay? Do we trade up or stay pat at the 24 or stay put at the 24? I think the Cowboys, one thing that I don't want the Cowboys to do is panic buy. Oh, the Kelvin Joseph situation. It's terrible for the family, first and foremost. Cam Ray's family mourning over the loss of their son. And we got to be careful and be mindful of those type of things. Whereas I know a third of the Cowboys would love for this man to get off, play football, and whatever it be a slap on the wrist, right? And say, hey, man, learn from this moment, right? And have that career like Ray Lewis. But, man, this situation for 3 weeks, she been seeking and wanting to know what happened to her son, right? And this is just me spitting the real, right? And she reached out to me. When she reached out to me and said, I thank you. I thank you for being fair and balanced with this situation. See, be careful. You never know who's listening to your show. She said, I thank you. I thank you, Law. No cap. And Krista, you know, the whole entire Cowboy Nation, we want what's best for this organization, but overall, we want what's best for you too. Completely. That's the reality of it. So, with that being said, heading into the future, the Dallas Cowboys, need to start looking at these things and saying, sometimes when we're looking at these draft picks, it should be also agreed upon that it's an honor to put that silver and blue on, that star on the side of the helmet. Let's not tarnish the name, because there's people that's lumped into this thing. There's people that's lumped into this thing, that's rooting for this team, supporting this team, and now we walk around with that stuff on, the silver and blue on. Now people looking at it like, there's a lot of mischiefs going on right here, you know. There's a lot of falsehood going on with the Cowboys organization. Things being leaked out carelessly with the Jones family and beyond. And over a period of time, things began to shake the tree. And people began to see what's going on. Shout out to you. Love, Krista. Appreciate you, Army Mom. Appreciate you. MG says law is always wrong. And you always watching, right? And there's a right and a wrong way to look at things, right? The sun, the moon, the planet as it spins, and the world continue to spin regardless. And my ideology is to tell you guys the truth. And if I'm wrong, I'll let you know I'm wrong. It's no element of surprise. I'm not always right. Put it like this, MG. And I really appreciate you. Please, mods, don't block them. Would you rather listen to someone that have their chest out and say, hey, I'm always right? Let that sink in. Would you want somebody to sit here and say, hey, I'm always right with everything? Then that will be your person that's telling the lies. Good segue right here. Marlon Humphreys come out and said telling the truth. It's not snitching. And boy, they let him eat, and they getting at him over there on the Twitter world. They are. They're getting at him. But this is the thing. Partial truth equals a whole lie. And that's the problem. When you have the partial truth, it equals a whole lie. When you know what needed to be done and you withhold evidence, you might as well be his person with the smoking gun. That's the reality of it. Now, I'm not saying that this is only relating to Kelvin Joseph storyline. It can be to anything, Cowboy Nation. And just like everybody, tax season just passed by. Everybody not right on their taxes. Some people will tell a little tale here on their taxes, right? But it is what it is. Just like evaluating these players. Just like it. You may sit there and say, yeah, man, this guy will truly help this team out in this aspect of it or that aspect of it. But in actuality, you know deep down in your heart that that's a want pick versus a need pick. And the need pick, the Cowboys should be focusing in on that. But unfortunately, the way the draft is and the way the free agency is, by the Cowboys don't dance a lot in free agency. They have to say this old thing, lie to kick it. And they have to turn back things and say, all right, cool. They have to turn back things and say, man, although our intentions were to draft BPA, but we got to get this need, right? We got to paint the picture that Taco Charlton is better than TJ Watt. But those who watched the film, for those who watched the tape, for those who went to the games, and for those who did the analysis themselves, they look at it like, nah, dog, hey, we know that TJ was the better player. Juxtaposed to even when we talking about Tristan Hill in the second, right? He was the second round draft pick, right? And when we look at it and comb through the tape, a lot of us was banging on the table. Hey, come on, man. If this dude was benched in college, now we going to a higher level. How do you see him elevating on that aspect? Oh, let the coaches get involved. Well, the coaches did. And one of the things that we saw opening training camp is somebody laid out like Family Guy because of his conditioning. So the Cowboys probably need to go back to the drawing board and say, hey, in the second round, we need to fix this issue, right? We need to stop lying to ourselves, and we need to go and make sure that in the second round in the 2022 season, we're scooping up the best player available. Yeah. We have too many needs, not all, or do y'all even like baseball? Shout out to you. Oh, no, wait a minute. What's y'all favorite baseball team? No, I did all merge together. I'm sorry, JT. What's y'all favorite baseball team, or do y'all even like baseball? Where was that other thing? It went away. Spoils of war. Any updates on Kelvin? All right, we got a news right here. Let's see what they're talking about as far as news update on Kelvin.
Dallas Cowboys players talking with Dallas police as they investigate a murder, according to our partners at the Dallas Morning News. The shooting happened almost a month ago outside a bar on Lower Greenville. Police asked for the public's help solving this murder, and part of their investigation in the case led them to Cowboys player Kelvin Joseph. NBC5's Maria Guerrero explains.
He was a very funny person. He loved sports. He loved basketball.
It's been nearly a month since Cameron Ray was gunned down.
It's been just devastating. Not having answers and just trying to process that he's gone, never coming back.
What is coming to light, police say, is a clearer picture of the moments leading up to his death. Surveillance video released by DPD shows Ray and friends involved in a fight with other men on March 18th in Lower Greenville. Moments.
Whoever this dude is right here.
Involved in a fight with other men on March 18th in Lower Greenville. Moments later, as Ray and others walk away, a black SUV at the top of the screen drives by and several shots are fired, hitting Ray in the head. The 20-year-old died at the hospital. Police asked for help identifying everyone in these surveillance videos.
If you recognize clothing, jewelry, maybe that's someone that's known to you, you know someone that might wear a piece of jewelry like that or a particular sweatshirt or shirt.
In one video, you can see a man wearing a necklace with a medallion reading YKDV. Well, that happens to be Cowboys cornerback Kelvin Joseph's nickname. He's also a rapper. DPD says they don't identify suspects or persons of interest unless they're searching for them or they're charged.
Is the gunman believed to be somewhere in this video?
I'm not going to get into that as part of the ongoing investigation.
The victim's stepmom says witnesses had nearly a month to come forward.
That joke right there.
And if this cowboy...
Get into that
this dude right here.
The victim's stepmom says witnesses had nearly a month
swing
to
with
come
your legs,
forward.
man.
And if
Losing
this
balance
Cowboys
everywhere.
player is involved in any way...
That tells a lot about your character, that you were with these dudes. If you didn't shoot, you were still with someone that did such a thing, that whoever was involved in that car, we want whatever they can get, the max of whatever they can get. I hate to say that, but they can get out of trouble. We can't never get our son back.
Our media partners at the Dallas Morning News spoke with Kelvin Joseph's attorney, Barry Sorrells, who says Kelvin Joseph did not shoot Cameron Ray, adding Mr. Ray's death is a tragedy, and Kelvin extends his deepest condolences. The attorney says the Cowboys player was unarmed and was not looking for violence that night, but rather found himself in a situation that escalated without his knowledge or consent.
Yep, so basically, according to the lawyer of Kelvin Joseph, he wasn't aware of what happened that night leading up to it. That like they didn't go out looking for trouble, in which I agree. You're going out, you're having a good time, and unfortunately, things escalated, and we lost a Texas native, who someone passed away by the name of Cam Ray, and that is a tragic situation. Sometimes people, Grandma, may she rest in peace. May she rest in peace. But this doesn't even tie into this because it only falls into the category. But she will always have this saying: "There's people in hell with great intentions." Write that down. So you may be under the mindset, hey, we going to have a good time. We're going to have great intentions to enjoy ourselves. But you fall up under the influences and things go left, things go sour. And at this point, you was the passenger in the vehicle. And at this point, no one is arrested, So there's two folds to it. Like Marlon Humphreys tweeted out, telling the truth is not snitching. So at some point, if he goes out and just say, hey, it was him with this gun, it was him that shot it, it was him that did this, it was him that did that, and you may lose your street cred, but it's doing the right thing so that Ray's family can seek closure with this. And who knows, man, this can play in their minds forever, right? He was the only child. So that goes into that point. For those who have kids, you spent your entire life raising them, right? And right before they get a chance to be on their own, right? At 20 or I think he was 20, at the tender age of 20. And then boom, it's gone. You're going to want to seek justice. You want to find someone to be held accountable for those actions. So it goes so many ways. It's not snitching, Craig. Yeah, I feel you. Chris Graham says street codes. Street codes is codes, baby. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. There's two codes. There's two worlds. There's two type of visual elements that you can say to yourself and say, man, I'm doing everything right by law. But then there is a street law that you have to obtain. You have to walk in too. Right? Blue collar law. There's a white collar law. There's multiple levels to this, Cowboy Nation. And the biggest split of everything, if you got the cash, man, you can make some things happen, right? So there's so many elements to this thing that we call life. Shoot, a man got to live by a code. Y'all know that saying? A man got to live by a code. There's so many things. So many things. But here's the thing. The Cowboys got to understand that there's a Cowboys law that we're going to be held accountable to things different from other teams. We're going to be viewed upon differently from other teams. You got a freaking owner that made a major announcement, and everybody, mama, uncle, cousin, even Shirley, Tupac, and Biggie climbing out of the grave, watching, looking to see what's going to happen. And the news, all the news was, and he had everybody hoodwinked. The Cowboys merged with blockchain. Like, come on, man, come on. That's your news. Had us waiting for 72 hours, waiting to hear what's going on. And his announcement. Shout out to cryptocurrency. Optics matter law. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Appreciate your Army, Mom. Yeah. Yep. Boy, we can talk about a whole bunch of other things. We could talk about a whole bunch of other things, baby. Oh, my gosh, man. NFL, Kelvin Joseph will face suspensions. I mean, it depends. It depends. From his mindset right now, he can say, well, wait a minute, hold on. They brought me in for questioning, and I'm not even arrested. I'm back at the crib. There's no arrest report. I got a clean slate. I might have, my lawyer might have spoken out of turn. I might was there in the vehicle, but no, I rode in the vehicle leading up to the club. I jumped in another vehicle leaving out from the club. So many rooms, so many speculations. I'm not saying that that's what happened, but if it got to go through trials and all of that stuff, so many wiggle room. So the Cowboys, at the end of the day, we had more conversations about players on this team that didn't even play. And that's a third of our problem right there. Look, all before this even happened, we were going back and forth with each other about Randy Gregory, right? He didn't even play for most of the season last year. But it was the expectations that were high, right? He didn't even play. Excuse me. Kelvin Joseph not even playing. Didn't even play a lot of snaps last year. And we still talking about him. And I tell people all the time. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Craig. Yeah, his lawyer already said he was in the car. I'm just saying, speculative, that they can retract that or recant that. It not insert that into the discovery when they go to trial. It's so many things that can go on. That's all I'm saying. And money would change a whole bunch of people's mind. That's all I'm saying. But neither here nor there. We talking about players that are not even playing for the Cowboys. That's been the distraction all this offseason. Randy Gregory, yes, the expectations of Randy Gregory, high. Yes, we wanted him to come out here to get double digits. He said he is a double-digit sack kind of guy who can create pressure, get to the quarterback. And we've been waiting all of the years to see Randy Gregory do what he said that he was going to bring to the table. How many double-digit sacks did he have? So we got to get that into our mindset too. Money won't bring back Ray. You're right. It definitely will not bring back Ray, right? May he rest in peace. I'm curious who owned the gun and all of that. Put it like this. You got to wait. You got to wait. What's the defensive back for the New Orleans Saints? Last year around this time, got caught with a loaded gun on TMZ camera and everything, the police radio station. Left and right. With possession. How many games were he suspended? Got arrested and everything. Dropped the charges, by the way. Marshawn Lattimore. Unregistered gun. The officer got it all on dash cam and everything. He said, man, dude, You gonna shoot your doggone thing off. Y'all remember that episode? Let me know how many games he was suspended for. So it is what it is. And I'm not saying an eye for an eye and all of this with the suspension levels, but I'm going to tell you, Cowboys, let that be a Cowboys player. Shoot. And Jay Lombardi, that Frank Clark situation and scenario, oh my goodness. And Tyreek Hill, look. They vilified Ezekiel Elliott, but he didn't do nothing as egregious as Tyreek Hill and what he did. How many games he was suspended for, right? It's two different laws in the NFL. There's a Cowboys law and there's other NFL laws. It's just the reality of it. Yup. Still playing, make the Pro Bowl, yup. Shoot, don't have me to get to talking about this, But heavy is the crown. You got an owner that speak his mind too. And just because he's getting all of these deals and we supposed to be, like, from a financial aspect, everybody could be like, yeah, key, and happy about it. But those other 31 other owners, they probably looking at it like jealousy. They probably looking at it like, hey, man, come on. He got away with this. He got away with that. Let's see what the investigation will reveal, yo. But back to football. Calvin Austin, baby. You looking for somebody that could take some pressure off of CeeDee Lamb. You looking for somebody that can take the top off the defense. And the Cowboys can work with a smaller wide receiver. We've seen it with Cole Beasley. We've seen it with the Green Bay Packer receiver that was here for a cup of coffee, came over here and did some wonderful things for us. And then when he saw Mike McCarthy coming back, he was like, nah, let me get on up out of here, man. So we understand that if you bring in a smaller, shiftier wide receiver and you can insert him into the middle of the field, things can work. But I truly believe my prediction for the Cowboys in this draft, I think that they will trade up. I think that they will do something like that to give us a little splash here. And that would be for a defensive player, if not offense. And on the offensive list, if they do trade up and have that crazy noise and music, could be an Evan Neal, could be Charles Cross, it could be Kenyon Green for those who mentioned Kenyon Green. It could be Zion Johnson on the offensive side. But I'm quite sure they like this Jordan Davis. But that would be remarkable, right? There would be a different change of avenue, a change of directions for the Cowboys to draft first and foremost an interior defensive guy. They haven't done it, I think, in a long time. Was Marcus Spears, right? Was the last guy in the first? Shoot, it's been a long time. Mr. Wright says trade up for Davis. Who do y'all believe in? We need to start throwing more deep balls for my guy Jay Versick. Yep. We need a Tyreek Hill type of threat. Russell Maryland, yeah, he was a big guy that they moved up to go. Well, they drafted, I meant to say, in the first. And how did that work out for us, right? It worked out pretty well for us. Eric Easy, yeah, shout out to you. Or Watt, this is Terrence Shorts. Watts, or do you like Davis, Terrence? Let me know. Watts or Davis? Watts or Davis? Let's see what we got right here. No, I ain't gonna do predictive. I'm gonna do predictive. We do first. We do first round. Let me see what we got right here. Let me see who they gonna fall upon when it's time for us. Both. Did the Mavs win? Davis ran a faster 40 time. Yeah, Davis is that dog. I ain't gonna even hold anybody else to that, right? Against that. All right. So let's see. All right. So Chris Olave going to the. You give Aaron Rodgers, Chris Olave. That just gonna be. And Drake London going to the Eagles. Kill-Off is going to the Chargers. Garrett Wilson going to the Saints. Wyatt going to the Ravens. He seems such like a Wyatt guy, right? See Jordan Davis, he gone to the Minnesota Vikings. Stingley going to the Washington football team. Okay. So we are right here. We available. We available. Where my picks at? Oh, no, wait a minute. No. Why is it like this? Hold on. First track and twin. Where my available picks at? Available players, okay. We got right now, pardon me. Right now we have Pennings available, Zion Johnson, Linderbaum, Devin Lloyd, Daxton Hill, Kenyon Green, Jahan Dotson, Treylon Burks, Lewis Kane. Sin. Let's see, Mboye Mafe. That's down the list. I know you guys can't see it. And then you got Tyler Smith. And then you got Scott Moore, Jaquan Brisker. I'm going with Zion Johnson all day on this list. I know you guys can't see it, but I will go with Zion Johnson right here. And it'll go all the way back to the point line that I was talking about earlier. You thought Winfrey was a huge guy? Nah. I think Winfrey, he's going to play 3-tech. We got plenty of those guys. I would go with Zion. Who y'all go with right now? We've been doing this. We've been doing this for a minute. Trade back. No penning. Can Pickens stay healthy? I think Pickens probably will stay healthy. But the way and the style and kind of caliber of wide receiver you got, if you look at George Pickens, and if you absolutely look at everything that you like out of Michael Gallup, the way he high point and approach the ball, they the same player. They the same player. George Pickens and Michael Gallup, the way they high point, I think that George is more aggressive on run blocks, and I think that George is more of a taller of stature or what have you. But they could be the same height. What's George height? Y'all put it in the chat. But when you look at the tape, you can see that they both high point, pull the ball out of the sky, strong hands, and got a little wiggle to them after catch. Davis Law, he's already gone, fam. Or do you want? See, Davis already gone. I see Davis went to shoulder drafted. No. He went to the Vikings at 12. And I'm not if I'm the Cowboys, to move up from the 24th spot to the 12th, they're gonna want the arm and the leg for the Cowboys to move up like that. Cowboys, if they stay put, they can pick up Zion Johnson and keep it moving. 6'3". Okay. Got to improve that line, Yeah, you ain't lying. And that's what they went with, Zion Johnson. That's my pick. But I seen Kenyon Green. We'll find out. Only did one round, though. But you guys get what I'm saying. Got to improve that line. We need a wide receiver as wide as Kim Kardashian. You funny. 6'3", 6'2", 6'3". So I'm going with that. Now, if you're looking for speed and everything, shoot, I'm double dipping in this draft. With wide receiver, and I'm getting speed guy, right? But far as trying to get the speed guy with the 24th pick. And Chris Olave, he was gone to the Green Bay Packers, and 9 times out of 10, when you run that mock draft, how those boys kind of like fall off in that range, 9 times out of 10, far as those skill players, they be close on the money with that. They do. Jalen Tolbert, Jalen is physical wide receiver, high point the ball. I don't see necessarily the way he takes the top off the defense. I don't see that as like, oh, wow, on Blaze, I'm going to keep off 10 yards off LOS from him. No, I don't see that all the way. But Chris Graham says Burke is falling. Burks versus Drake London. That's the situation. And when you look at the tape, naturally, you would say, man, Traylon is more of a doggish, right? More of a dog, but man, Drake is a dog too. Not going to give you a lot of separation. But baby, when the ball is in the air, they both greet the ball and say, hey, bring it in. But I'm thinking if you look at it, I would go more of Drake London didn't run that 40 though. Yeah. What do you think he at? Like a 4.6, maybe 4.7? Leon says no one is mentioning the other Calvin Austin, the one with the K. Look at his tape, outstanding speed, got good hands or what have you. Yeah, just like nobody mentioned, like Nick Cross. I like Nick Cross. Nobody mentioning Nick Cross. I like him. He's on the defensive side, of course. Strong safety that you can play close to the LOS, and then he can give you some free action. He would knock you up out of the frame, plays through the echoes of the whistle. There are a lot of guys on the low end. And even if you look at Sterling Weatherford, I said every time I did my mock draft, Michael Helton said, nah, he like a 4.7. You think he's really a 4.7 though? Oh my gosh. Don't get caught up in that 40 speed. Cooper Kupp ran a 4.6, right? 4.67. Who would want Cooper Kupp on this team right now? Don't fall in love with them 40 times though. Let me make sure. Let me see. Let me see if I put my my good stuff down. Let me see. Cooper Kupp 40 time. Oh, so I was wrong. He ran a 4.62. 4.62. David Bell, nobody mentioning him. Yeah, nobody mentioning him. The boy said will Kevin Joseph have visitation days? I don't know, man. He's not locked up, by the way, Let's see if he can cooperate with the detectives and things like that. And see if he can come back and get things going. Cooper cut and slot. All right, Law, read Marv P. comment. Tell coach to call in then. Let me put the call in button up there at the top then. Coach, call in. I don't have time to read. Just call in. Let me know of your thoughts, Coach. Call in. It's at the top of the screen right there. I think I got the line open. Yeah, it's open. 657-390-7391. 657-390-7391. That's the call-in line. I like Khalil. Khalil is pretty good. Shakur is good in the third round. I feel you. Yep. But I just think, to me, Calvin Austin is a little bit sweeter. But both of those guys, depending on how the Cowboys would utilize them if they draft them, would work. Coach, man, you live.
What's going on, Law, man?
Nothing to it.
Man, let me tell you something, man. I hate to just jump right into it, but I got to jump right into it.
Go ahead. Go with it.
First of all, I want to say this. We don't need all number one ranked receivers, first round draft choice of receivers an O-lineman to be a good football or a Super Bowl football team.
All right, I follow you.
That is not the case in probably all of the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
But you do need quality draft picks. And in this draft, if the Cowboys' philosophy, as we already see, is to build through the draft,
right?
We need quality. We need quality top. Most likely, your better picks are your top 100 picks. I know I had put out a thing about with Anthony Brown, but with the boss man fat thing that happened, that right now may be under the board.
Right.
We're trying to get those picks.
Mm-hmm.
But if we're thinking about trading up to get one guy and giving up capital to get one guy and thinking that one guy, which will be a rookie, is going to fill all of the holes or the quality holes that we have on this team,
right?
It will be a drastic mistake. A drastic mistake. If we're going to do anything, if we're not really confident in the guy when it gets to 24, just like we were in the point when we got to the spot where we got Parsons, where we said, hey, he's going to be there if we move back a little bit, and we'll still be able to get him and get some more picks, get another pick that can turn into a very good player for us. I have no problem with going back if we can get an early second or an early third round pick. So
you saying at the 24th you just moonwalk back a little bit and get multiple.
Quality. If we're gonna get multiple picks there, that's more advantageous to us because we have 4 definite holes, and I'm not even consider, and I'm saying the cornerback position now,
right,
is a hole because here, but I don't think that's a glaring hole because this guy wasn't a starter, and our defense played well, and Anthony Brown is a starting cornerback in this league.
Yeah,
right. So I'm not saying that is not a hole, but it's not a glaring hole.
Right.
But I still believe. I think we as fans, we overreact to stuff because of the fact we are so hungry, as I am, to get back to that Super Bowl.
We are.
And that makes us hungry, and we think if we just, we're trying to, and our thing is that we're fans, and we think if we can get all the number 1 draft picks on a whole team, and that would solidify a chance to win. But I don't think the talent base is too lacking here. I just think that we give up on people that sometimes, there wasn't any problems with them totally as players.
Right.
Let's talk about Jordan Davis.
Talk to me.
I love Jordan Davis.
Right.
I think Jordan Davis is a great guy.
Big facts.
But I think you've got enough at defensive line right now that you haven't even given the time
to develop,
to really even say if they're going to be great.
I remember you talking to me about that, Coach. You said look at Chauncey Golston tape. You said look at Navell tape and Osa tape, and I went back and I watched those games, and I said, yeah, Coach was spitting the truth. I think that Navell Gallimore, we've been banging on the table for a one tech. I think that he's going to get wider because the dude is just wide. I think he's going to challenge Carlos Watkins as well as Big Bo for that one tech role, and they're going to squeeze in Osa and Tristan Hill as the 3 techs. But go ahead.
And I think, and I'll say this from a football aspect.
Right, talk to me.
These guys, if you take all of them together, Gallimore probably hadn't played 16 games totally in 2 years.
Right.
Tristan Hill hasn't played 16 games totally in 3 years.
Right.
Osa just played 17 games as a rookie.
Yep.
Bohanna probably hadn't played in 16 games yet.
Not
and
at
he's
all.
going into his second year.
Right.
We're adding to places where we have talent that has splashed for us. Again, we're talking about receivers. And Law, I know you on this tip, and I know you don't. I know why you don't go with it. If we want this team to be a dominant team, let's put our eggs in the basket of the defense, and we don't have to have as many receivers to be able to win championships, because the Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the last two Super Bowl teams that won in the playoffs, showed you that defense, where the offense had to do very little, won Super Bowls.
Yep. Coach, so with that being said, the first defensive player to fly off the board for the Cowboys, it should be in the area of
linebacker. Yeah.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down. Break it down.
Now, let me give you my strategy on that. If you have that offensive lineman at 24, fine. But somewhere in between 2 and 3, you have to get that linebacker. But you can get a better player and fill more positions if you get 2 second-round picks. You get an early one, because the 24 pick is just almost at the edge end of the second round already. You only talk about 8 more picks. Right. So you can get an early second because someone wants to get back up in that first round and get a third. You can fill more positions with that.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to take a linebacker along, this is what we need to push. If we don't want to take a linebacker, you could take a linebacker later in the draft, to take a chance on it. But we need to sign one of these veteran linebackers that's still out here in free agency.
Who that be? Are you banging the table for Anthony Hitchens?
Yeah, Anthony Barr.
Or Anthony Barr?
Hitchison. And I would even, and you may not like this, but I'm gonna tell you why. I was even looking at the guy coming out of New England, Hightower.
Is he free?
Reason why.
Go ahead.
Smartness, top of the level, Hightower. No better. He's gonna help Parsons be where Parsons want to be, doing everything you want to do, and help him be an even greater linebacker for you in the future. And he plays the run, and his toughness, and he comes from a winning mentality,
right?
And has championship pedigree.
Yeah.
But we know, Cowboy fans need to know, and I'm going to put it on out there.
Put it out there.
We're trying to protect LVE playing time, because anybody we bring in here, he's going to be on the sideline.
This is the thing. This is the thing I got with LVE. He don't bring the physicality. So when I look at linebackers like Tyndall, I look at linebackers out of the draft like Leo, or if I look at a linebacker like you just mentioned, Anthony Barr, somebody that can be inserted into this system to just give us that little bit more aggressiveness and coverage, I would love it. Now, the thing that LVE did in the latter part of the season against the Washington football team and, of course, against the 49ers, yes, he was there, but it still wasn't that, like make them pay type of hit, if you get what I'm saying.
That was just, we ran Jalen Smith out of town because we say he got 150 tackles and 5-6 yards down the field. You talking about a linebacker, LVE, how many tackles for loss he had?
Tackle for losses? No. He ain't coming down and shooting through the B gap. No, he ain't doing that. No. Go ahead.
Let me tell you something, Law. When you have a drag racing car, right?
Right. Talk to me.
And it don't bring speed, is it any use?
No.
So if you got a linebacker in one of the most physical positions in football, and he's big, than most linebackers, and he don't bring physicality, and he's not even a 4-2 guy. He may be now a 4-6, 4-7 guy because he don't show speed either. What use is he? Well, it's no need to tell about what use is he because everybody in the NFL just told you that because nobody offered more than the $2.5 million, $2.6 million. So that already tells you what everybody else thinking in the NFL already. So we the only ones that's thinking that we're going to win a Super Bowl where we had a guy out there on the market that nobody will offer over $2.7 million to, that we're going to now turn him in to something that's going to be a running mate besides Parsons.
Right.
I'm saying, Law, to you, and I want to say this to the fans. If we invest in this, we are so close for this defense being a top-ranked defense where our team doesn't have to score 40 or 50 points. And this offense, I heard my man Jay Tuck said something. He put something out there on the little draft show, and I'm giving them plug. Jay Tuck and Big Game James and the boss had a draft. But Jay Tuck was saying there's some tight ends out there. If we wouldn't be bad to go against one of these great tight ends out there because, man, how can that improve our passing offense as well as our running game? It could be a very, very beneficial. And then I had to start thinking, Law.
Talk to me.
I look at all the great offenses in the NFL, right?
Right.
And don't most of them have great tight ends? I mean, explosive tight ends, and tight ends are, because what are they? They are more dangerous to a defense than a great wide receiver.
Yeah. You got a mismatch, man. When you're 6'5" and you can run, and then on top of that, if you can go back to that 12 personnel look, it'll get them up out of that quarters defense because they got responsibilities that they have to.
What Kansas City said?
Yeah.
Kansas City said, "Well, listen, we love Tyreek Hill.
Oh yeah,
and yes, he's explosive. But Kelsey's stirred the drink. He's a straw to stir the drink.
He is.
Kittle is a straw to stir the drink in San Francisco. They'll say they'll find receivers anywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
So here it is again. We have a tight end that we're paying Kittles and Kelsey type money, but he is just able. So if you take him and you would put him beside someone, and you can stay in that 12 personnel, and you can block and still be physical.
Right.
Because I tell people that all through my coaching years, and I told tight ends this: if you can really block, you're gonna get open easy.
Yep.
If you are not a threat to block, it's gonna be harder for you to get open.
Yep. Big facts.
So let's go for what the philosophy was that made us, that's going to put us in a championship mentality. I think the Cowboys came out last year saying that we need to get more physical in certain spots.
Right.
We need to get physical in certain spots, and there are some physical players in some physical positions that we need to be able to enhance. I think we did a great job. I think our defensive line is okay and it's young, and I think
the only thing, Coach, is this right here. When I think of the Jones family, it's not about physicality though. They may say it, but then again, it's about selling tickets too. So it's going to be a hard press if Chris Olave is there. And you know how it goes, man. They're going to look at that and say, man, we going to sell the ideal that we need somebody on the opposite side of CeeDee Lamb.
But you know something, Law? I understand what you're saying.
Right.
But it takes guys like you, Boss, Big Game James, Okoye, Vosh, people that know football.
Right.
That have studied football, that don't get caught up in the hype of fantasy football, or this excitement, and says, I'm looking at other teams win with substance. And here we going, as you made the statement the other day, Who cares about the cryptocurrency deal?
Right.
What does that do to help us win football games?
Right.
So here we go falling into the nature of thinking about how they think and trying to make their way of thinking work. And in 27 years, we have seen that not work. So we have to buck that system of thinking that they have.
Right.
Because if we go along with it and we fall into it because they put it out on all their other media sources and they keep saying the same stuff over and over, and it always comes back to being exciting. If everything that comes back, it comes back to trying to put up points and be exciting. Here is the question I ask Cowboy fans and I ask y'all. Do we want to be exciting, or do we want the number 6 trophy in our case in the rings and be champions of the world again? Or do we just want to be exciting and be 12-5 out the first round, 44-35 loss, and go right back to doing the same stuff to be exciting?
Right.
We have to put the pressure on these people to say, let's get back to football and win, because regardless we win, I'm just excited if we win 14-13.
Right.
If I win, then we win, because that's exciting because we got a victory. That's all we need to be concerned about. But I want to ask you one question. I will get off and listen to you, Law. I saw about a linebacker, and I ain't never that big draft guy, but it's a linebacker out of Kansas, out of the University of Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
That's blazing fast, right? I think his name is Jalen or Jordan something. He's coming out. He's a linebacker out of Kansas, and he ran a 40, I think, in his pro day, just like this is good as Parsons. Maybe a little bit better than Parsons.
Kansas, y'all gotta help me out with that, with the name. I don't know.
I know his first name starts with a J. I think it's Gerard.
Y'all help me out in the chat.
Yeah, so if I look it up and put it back in the chat, but
I thought you were gonna say James Houston.
Well, this is I seen when you were trying to get the guys to put James Houston in the little mock draft, but this is the Cowboys brought him in.
Yeah, they did. They
brought him in to talk to him. Yeah. He's a late round pick. Listen, the guy could play. Late round pick, maybe give you some edge rushing things. Hey, if they took a flyer on the guy that was from overseas, from Africa, I think, and gave him an opportunity. He stayed on the team a while.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with giving James Houston a pick in one of those 5th round picks. You may never know. I'm not saying no early guy, but one of those 5th round picks. Yeah, I would give him a shot, because what they're gonna do is play musical chairs out there till they find somebody locked into the edge out there. Till they find them a guy that's locked into the edge. But please, Cowboy fans.
Oh, they talking about K-Ron Johnson from Kansas, maybe.
K-Ron Johnson, that's his name. K-Ron Johnson.
Yeah, let me pull him up.
Out of Kansas. Could have went somewhere else.
He had a good Senior Bowl thing,
He had a great Senior Bowl. He can't play middle. He can't play edge, but his speed, he reminds me a lot of his rushing ability on the outside, like Parsons. But here it is again. I'm looking for physicality. You watch some, I know highlights tapes, but that speed, I think Cowboys need to have speed and physicality, and that's where I would even go better with a guy that was another speed guy beside Parsons. Because LV, and I hate to keep getting on LV.
No, you good. You good. Mm-hmm.
He doesn't give us neither one. Law. He doesn't give us physicality or speed.
He's there. That's what it is. He living off his he living off his rookie's tape, man, and he did just to be a little bit on this thing. He did give us a little play in that 49ers game, but outside of that, man, it is what it is.
What play he gave us in the 49ers? I know everybody's talking about all that great play he made at at the end of the game. The guy ran right in front of him and sat down and caught the ball.
That
and
counts.
He struggled to get the guy to the ground, Law. He struggled to get the guy to
we
the
know
ground.
That. Yeah, we know that. But I think believe it or not, he was your leading tackler in that game. LVE, and I refuse to hit the button, though. But the LVE Wolf Howl. But that's just how it goes, man. And that was his game to get him $3 million.
LVE is a good guy.
Yep.
He's a good guy. And I hope he stays in the NFL and plays a long time. But as long as you've been watching football, if we're thinking a guy from 2018 is going to come back after 4 or 5 years, the Cowboys don't really believe that because, hey, they still talking about getting them 1-year prove-it deals.
Right.
So these things, what I'm saying to you is, if we go all in on our defense at this particular point in time,
right,
this defense is young enough and will be together long enough because to really help our offense to be more patient, to be more physical, and believe it or not, Law, we will be more efficient. We will still score 28 to 27 points a game, maybe 30. But it will not always come off long drives and explosive plays.
Right.
The defense will give us short fields. Sometimes we'll be efficient to drive long. That is how you win. You do not put emphasis all on one side of the ball. I look at some of the great teams in this past years and just recently. They are competent, and I hate to say this because Mike McCarthy used it. It's true, complementary football teams.
Yep.
We have a defense now that's growing that can be a dominant side of the ball where our offense doesn't have to say we got 4 or 5 first-round draft picks.
Right.
We just have to have a little bit more physicality in there, and we'll be able to do what we need to do. But if we're getting the offensive lineman, we talk about offensive lineman. But if we're going to get a power guy like Zion, or if we got Green, a power guy, and we're not going to utilize them to pass block, we might as well go ahead and stay where we got.
No doubt, man. No doubt, Coach. I'm going to let this other caller come in, man, but I appreciate you, Coach, all the time.
Appreciate it, man.
Hey, before you run, I just want to let you know that the Cowboys like those long, lengthy type of DBs. So be mindful of Tyreek Woolen. He's from UTSA. Just look up his tape. It's Tyreek Woolen and also Zion McCollum. You just look up those two guys from Sam Houston. They like
long.
Long.
Long says right quick.
Talk to me.
They love people that has some type of connection to Texas.
Yep. You spitting at us now. You talking the truth. But I appreciate you, Coach,
some
man.
kind of connection to Texas.
Thank you, Coach.
Law, appreciate it, man. Have a happy Easter, man.
You as well. Salute. That's my coach right there, man. Always good conversation with him. All right, it's 11:33. All right, 818, you live.
Hello?
Yes, what's good? What's good,
Hey,
fam?
Law.
What's
hey,
good?
Man, I want to say happy Easter to you and all the Law Nation fans and all the Cowboys fans out there, first and foremost.
Appreciate it, fam.
I respect everything that you're doing and all the work that you're putting in. But let's get down to it, man.
Let's get down to business.
Man.
Talk to me.
Look. All these players are good, but at the end of the day, if we don't have a quarterback that can win us the Super Bowl, it's for nothing but ticket sales.
Okay.
And I'm saying I don't know what quarterbacks are better than Dak Prescott right now. I'm going to be honest with you, that we can pick up. But I know that Dak ain't it. And we have receivers out here that are leaving the team.
Right.
Because I feel like they going for the money. They say, pay me, or I could take my talent somewhere else and possibly win the Super Bowl somewhere else. No receiver in the NFL is coming to the Cowboys saying, oh, you know what? I want to play under Dak Prescott. You tell me what receiver's saying, you know what? I want to come to the Cowboys. I want to play for Dak Prescott. Ain't nobody out there saying that.
Antonio Brown just said that, right? but let's get to this. Let's get to this point right here. All right, so we can't trade Dak Prescott. He got a no trade clause in his contract. So there's no way that you can trade Dak Prescott. So he's here until the life of his contract unless you cut him, and that would be kind of crazy. What quarterback would you prefer to see in this system? And even before Dak Prescott arrived, we just talking, your name is SG, right?
Yeah.
SG. So SG, what quarterback under Jason Garrett, because that was the first few years of Dak Prescott, what quarterback would have won the Super Bowl under Jason Garrett?
Under Jason Garrett.
Because we've seen Jason Garrett, and I'm not trying to beat up Jason Garrett. I think he's a wonderful guy. Met him multiple times. Brilliant guy, good student of the game and what have you. And we saw what he did with the Giants offense. They couldn't get over 19 points. They averaged, for the time Jason Garrett was the offensive coordinator there, they averaged less than 18 points a game. Now, moving a little bit further, yes, we got Mike McCarthy going into his third year, his first year 6-10 in a pandemic year. The offense still ranked 10th. And then last year, the offense ranked first overall, and they went 12-5. So let's see what this third year is going to look like with Mike McCarthy. And yes, we can look at Mike McCarthy's resume and say to ourselves, yeah, that is nice resume as far as helping out with quarterbacks. But you haven't done anything in 12 to 13 years to win in a Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers don't have a Super Bowl ring without Mike McCarthy. So it's a hit-and-miss situation with that. But what quarterback would you want right now on the Dallas Cowboys?
If I could choose any quarterback in the NFL?
Any quarterback right now in the NFL, right now.
I would take Tom Brady.
All right, so you would take –
Or Russell Wilson.
Or you take Russell Wilson. Interesting point. So out of Russell Wilson and Tom Brady, who would you take?
I think Russell Wilson would be better for us.
Russell Wilson would be better than us. All right, so be better for us. So in the last 4 years, what if I told you that far as from a stat line, they are very close and similar. Win to loss ratio is just like this. So the outlier will be if the Denver Broncos, they better go to the Super Bowl because they got weapons and they're going to have a top 10 defense and they're going to have a legitimate quarterback. It should be that the Denver Broncos going to the Super Bowl because of Russell Wilson. But if you were to take Jason Garrett and put him on the Seattle Seahawks, you think that he would have been a difference maker there and pick up that coach and put him over here? Because now we talking about coaches and we talking about defenses. The Super Bowl that our guy, Russell Wilson, won had nothing to do with him. It had everything to do with that Super Bowl realistic defense, unbelievable defense. So I'm not trying to paint the picture that Dak Prescott is faultless and that he don't do anything wrong. But at the same time, you got to equate coaching, you got to equate defense and the things that were around. And I'm quite sure the Cowboys never had a historically great defense, nor had the coach that can move us and put us over the hump there. We didn't have that. And Landon Moore said,
yeah. I hear what you're saying, and I respect what you're saying. I see where you're coming from. I just don't think that Dak is it, man. I don't think he's it. Did you
ever think that Stafford could Stafford win the Super Bowl in Lions country?
I never thought that when he was with the Lions. That's for sure.
Right.
That's for sure. Never thought that. But seeing as Dak has all these players and weapons and O-linemen, and he's had the number. I don't know. We had the number one defense last year or whatever it was, but we had one of the best defenses last year, and that was shocking. We didn't do nothing with it. I mean, yeah, you can say it's the coach's fault, but man, like when it comes down to it, we had some great receivers. We had a great receiving core, and now they all gone. Basically, they left.
Who by their own will and power? We brought back everybody but Amari Cooper, who, from my understanding, he didn't want to leave, but they looked at it like, hey, $20 million is too much money. And on top of that, he had less than 100 targets. Everybody else of his kind of caliber would have had at least 130 targets. But I get it. The offense, the expectations. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with the Cowboys organization. The expectations is primarily the problem. And I'm not making excuses for the Cowboys of saying this is the reason why they're not winning. But you took a third year ever offensive coordinator into this situation. That's how many years he's been coaching on the offensive side. This is going into his fourth year, and you expecting this guy to come in to craft up a particular offense that can beat other opposing teams that have been doing this thing for 20 years or such. Defensive coordinators, he's supposed to outthink them. He got put into a situation whereas we knew that we had to go through those growing pains. And as much as this is, as you said, okay, the Cowboys, when we got into the playoffs, we didn't do anything because we had the 12th ranked defense or what have you. We had a good defense or what have you, had the number one offense. There was another team, the Green Bay Packers, who had the 3rd ranked defense and on top of that, the 6th ranked offense that didn't beat the team that we lost to as well. So it's crazy, man. SG is crazy. And that was the better thrower of the ball, right?
Right.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, look, I haven't seen a throw that he can't make. And Devontae Adams, do we have a Devontae Adams on this team?
No, I can't say we do.
Now, I know we've been talking about running backs in the past, but have you seen Aaron Jones run? Do we have a runner like a Aaron Jones? What was their reason why they didn't win that game? Why they didn't go a little bit further? They had the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League. They had the number one, they had a better defense, 3rd ranked defense. They were playing at home, and then they still held an L. They had the home field advantage throughout the whole entire playoff.
Mm-hmm. Law, what do you think about picking up Cam as a backup?
Cam Newton as a backup?
Mm-hmm.
Bring him in. Competition, iron sharpen iron. If he can outperform Cooper Rush and Dak Prescott in training camp, that would be a plus for us, right? But the moment, I don't think the Cowboys would bring him in. Too much news around the Cowboys. Right now. Other stuff going on. Listen, people saying leave Cam alone. Well, I appreciate you, SG, man. I appreciate you for calling in, fam. Thank you.
All right, man. Y'all have a great one.
You as well, man. Salute. That's a good guy right there. Calling in. Calling in with the plan. It is what it is. MJ, you're live.
What up?
Nothing much, man. Talk to me.
How you been doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. It's 11:43. I got to get ready to set up everything for the kids. We're supposed to take them out to play. But talk to me, man.
Man, I'm like you. I'm a defensive man.
Right.
We like the coach there. If they get their defense, more people on their defense win championships, man. You got to get the defense.
Hey, MJ, who was number one defense last year?
I remember Green Bay was number 3.
They were number 3.
Who was number 1? Was it Baltimore?
Nope.
Who was number 1?
Who was the number 1 defense last year?
Defense. I know San Francisco was up there. I can't remember. Who was it?
Oh man, keep guessing, man. You know, they did something that we want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Was it Buffalo, Kansas City?
Keep going.
Buffalo, Kansas City. Was it Miami? I can't remember who was the number 1 defense. Who was it? I can't remember.
I'm gonna let you keep going. Keep naming them, baby.
Kansas City. It was a playoff team. I know that.
Yeah.
So the playoff teams was Tennessee, Green Bay, San Francisco, Dallas. Right now, I'm trying. That's a hard. Who was it? I cannot remember. It's hard. Who was that?
But I can imagine you looking around like, who's the door?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Oh my gosh, man! I mean, all they had was like, all they had was, a guy by the name of Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. Oh my God,
right.
Yeah, yeah.
And they still got bounced. They got lucky of 2 holding penalties. God, footballers love too. They wouldn't even made it. They got 2 calls against San Francisco and calls against Cincinnati. So it's all luck in football.
Yep. And with that being said, MJ, who threw the most interceptions last year? The quarterback.
Stafford.
Matthew. See, you knew that one, right? So, can you imagine if Matthew Stafford didn't play on a team with the #1 defense in the National Football League? So you give him a shorter field. Give him a shorter field to operate, and they said to themselves, "Okay, Stafford, we're gonna give you more and more weapons. We're gonna give you Odell Beckham, and at the time, if this happened before Robert Woods, and he had also Cooper Kupp. So what I want to tell people, 30 years from now, just as hard as for you to realize that the Rams had the #1 defense, they will forget all about the defense. They would probably remember Aaron Donald. They will probably remember Jalen Ramsey. But the quarterback will be forever remembered. They ain't going to never forget the quarterback. They're going to say Stafford won a Super Bowl.
Yep. And he got a whole new life. You can see him here in L.A. He's so happy. I finally did it. I'm a champion.
Yeah.
Wow. He couldn't believe it. And another thing, Law, I had to go back to it now.
Talk to me.
Everybody listening. Law.
Talk to me, man.
We at the 44-yard line.
Right.
2 minutes and 57 seconds left.
Right.
We got all our timeouts.
Yeah.
And we couldn't even move 44 yards to win the game. After number 94 tackled a lineman, and we still got the ball back. So our defense did what they supposed to do.
Yeah.
Our offense choked on us.
That's what I told. There's a guy named Dak Attack on Twitter. Shout out to him. I told him, I said, hey, I get it, right? We didn't get no pressure on Jimmy. We had 0 sacks on Jimmy, right? Nobody put a finger on Jimmy, and the defense was solid. Although Parsons, he was creating a plan of action that Parsons didn't show up in the playoff game. And I get it, right? He showed like multiple screenshots or what have you, and he was pretty much pointing at Parsons and some of the other defensive players, and like what we really need is interior. And I get it, right? You put a big boy inside, maybe we can push that thing back and get to Jimmy. But our offense, it was like you said, 2 minutes and 50 some odd change left on the clock, 3 timeouts, and we couldn't punch it in. We couldn't punch it in. Couldn't move it.
I remember that. I told my friend, we had the worst game. It's like we wasn't in it, but the defense still kept us in it. I ain't gonna lie. And they stopped up. They did Green Bay the same way, 49. You gotta get a hands out to the 49ers defense.
But you know what they did? They played on the tendencies, and shout out to the 49ers for doing that. And I can't stand the 49ers, by the way. They literally dropped 6 DBs, rushed 4, and said, okay, we dare you to run the ball, and we're going to send. They played look, that's crazy. They just played zone, drop. We're going to play the deepest of the deepest guy, beat us. And we trust on sound technique, rushing for our linebackers flying out to the ball. What's up? You know.
Yeah. And then, when we hit the first down,
right.
Dak missed number 21 out of the backfield. Remember? He was wide open, and it went. We'd have got that first down, we'd have had a chance.
You know,
Zeke.
You know the play that I really would wanted Dak to hit. And I want you guys to go back and watch. It was a play when we got into the money zone, red zone, green zone. It was the play that Fred Warner went down. Ezekiel Elliott was right open in the hook.
Yeah.
He was wide open in the hook because Ezekiel Elliott hit him with a 1, 2. And Fred Warner, he went down. I was like, wow. And Ezekiel Elliott was playing YMCA because he was wide open. And Dak looked to throw it to a Coop. And Coop was held because of, he just got held. And the official was like, we ain't finna call that. But you don't look for that because the official was probably looking at it like, dude, Ezekiel Elliott was wide open as well. And I think that the offensive line, they blocked pretty good enough for Dak Prescott to step up and hit that target. And if you can talk to Dak Prescott to this day, he will let you know, yeah, I messed up in that part.
Yeah, he missed that play.
He missed that play.
That's another play he missed.
Yeah.
I like, because when you hit that big play with our tight end, I said, okay, we in.
Yeah.
You can see it on the 49ers face. It's they about to drive on it.
Yeah.
And then we can even the next 4 plays, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm like, unbelievable.
Unbelievable, man.
Move the ball 1 yard.
Couldn't move it, man. And
that's when our quarterback. I think that's when the fans is pissed off at that.
Yeah.
They wanted him to use them legs.
Yeah.
Stop trying to be Brady. Dad got to start. He got to start using his legs, man.
Yep.
If you want to play like 2016, if we'd have played like 2016 in that game,
we would have won, man. So it goes back to this. It goes back to this with Dak Prescott. I love Dak Prescott. I think the world of Dak Prescott. But you got to figure out ways to win Dak Prescott way, and that will be, in my opinion, re-solidify that front five, get more physical, run the rock, open up things, and go back. If you get back to 12 look, I think 12 personnel look put a lot of stresses on defenses. They can't play that cute. We're gonna drop the DB. We're gonna drop our DBs and give you the underneath. Nah, they're gonna have to get up out of that look because you can run, you can disguise the run, you can do a lot of other things out of that look and get out of that 11. Get out of the 11. Get out of that 11. It's too cute.
It's not for that.
It's not for
It's not for that.
No.
You got to go to I like to think and dunk that.
Yeah.
The dink and dunk.
Yeah.
And then you can hit them over the top.
There you go.
Dink and dunk. Come here. Boom.
Appreciate you, MJ, man. I thank you, man. I'm going to let Tyreek come in, and then we're going to bounce. But I appreciate you, fam. Yes, indeed, man. That's what I look at it like, and that's me giving you guys some objective analysis. Look, as you guys hear, I'm not saying, he's trash, because that's not the case nor the scenario. Because same could be said if I go that angle, I can say the same. I can say the absolute same about Aaron Rodgers. They played some good defense against those boys. Of course, it was cold, it was chilly that day, and it was wet and rainy, right? Green Bay Packers versus the 49ers. But if all Aaron had to do in that game is stop trying to win it with his arm, get back to some 12 looks, put the ball in the belly of Aaron Jones, run, get him up out of that look, force them to have those safeties to come down inside the box, and then you take it from that aspect. And that's what the Rams did. They played the long man's game. They had the 2 running back setups, and they ran the ball. And of course, the ball bounced their way in the playoff as well with those calls. But that's a story of a different day. I got my guy Tyreek, man. You live, fam.
Hey, what's going on, Raw Nation, Cowboy Nation, stand up? How y'all doing today?
Man, we doing good, man. Talk to me, man.
I'm gonna put it to you like this, Law. It's unfortunate that that young man in Dallas lost his life, and our cornerback is a part of that whole situation.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, like you was posting up, like, yo, you down by association, basically.
Right.
Because, you know, he didn't jump out the car or try to get away from these dudes
right.
or go straight to the police about it.
Right.
So it's like, I think he's going to put getting lumped into the group. That's just my honest opinion. But I wish him the best, but at the same time too, if he was, he was a part of it, he was a part of that, and he got to go down with the clique a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it goes.
Tariq, it's two ways he can get out of that. If first and foremost, he's not arrested, that's one thing. The second thing would be if he, of course, they call it on the streets, if he snitched, which is pretty much telling the truth of what happened. And then the third thing would be if he somehow get hit in the jam and he got to take something, then he goes out with a plea. That would be a plea deal, and you know how that is. That's associated and affiliated with snitching too. So there's so many ways you can look into this, but when you're a child, you think of a child. When you're an adult, you think of an adult. You heard that saying before, right? So I think professional players, when you start off your life, before you hit professionalism, you probably can say to yourself, hey, when I was out there in the streets, I thought like a street man, but now I'm a professional. I got to think like a professional man. I got to hit spots. I can't stay there long. Look, I will have a timer. I hit a spot, I know I can't be there for more than 2 hours. I'm going to hit there, be there for 30 minutes to an hour. I got to boogie. I got to bounce up out of here. Hey, I got to have rules in place. If I got a squeeze that's coming over, I got this chart that's already written down that we already agreed that you and we having a consensual moment. That's how this thing got to be, because you dealing with generational wealth. And it may not sound pleasing to the ears when you talk to people that way. When you throw in your party and say, hey, man, the phone stops right here, right? Because people can make a come up with digital. You see how digital real estate is now. With digital products, people are making a come up with things that they catch you off the record. They recording your conversation and everything. So you got to guard your intentions. You got to guard everything, and your reputation is everything. And I'll recommend. Look, I'll recommend. If I'm the players rep. My first thing is I reached out to all of them and say, hey, read this book, 48 Laws of Power. Understand it, cover to cover. It's a short read. Trust me. It will help you out in the long run. But go ahead.
Definitely, man. Cause my whole thing is like this. Only way I really see the man getting out of it is if the people that was shooting take it.
Yeah.
And just leave him out of it. Like, he was just there, but he didn't have to do it. That's the only way I really see this man getting out of this. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? And if some way he able to get out of this situation, he better. Oh man, he better be the first ones in the church and the last one out. I'm gonna tell you like that.
Yeah.
And be the most forgivingest person in the Cowboy organization. And be on the straight and narrow. Because, like you said, it's generational wealth that he messing up. I'm pretty sure nobody else in that car, in that truck, was risking it all like he's risking it all, besides their freedom.
Right.
More than his freedom, you know what I mean?
And they eating off of him. I guarantee you, they ain't working a 9 to 5. They ain't eating oodles and noodles. They say, hey, you got paid, we got paid, KJ, Kevin Joseph. Hey, you remember in Scottsdale, hey, it was me that took up for you. It's me that's putting this information out for your rap album and everything. It's us that's working. We a team. But now when it's time to take look, may the Ray's family, may Cameron Ray rest in peace. And I'm not trying to discard that of saying that, yeah, man, somebody got to take one for the team. But nah, the hothead that shot and pulled the trigger, he need to be out there front and center and say, man, things got heated and I took that man's life and I'm willing to to go ahead and go down for this cause. You know, that's just how it goes. That's just how it is.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that too. I apologize. I apologize for me speaking like that. I meant to say like whoever did that, they need to go down
Fess
for
up
it
and own it. Yep.
Leave him out of it. Now, if that's his real friends, they would leave him out of that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's much more to lose with him going down with everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then we don't even know if he really knew all that stuff was in the truck.
Right. He probably didn't know they were going to go off like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Look. Like I said, I had a friend just like that. He ready to pop off. The dude had his tow truck. He had his thing hooked up. And we out here in Bruff, we kicking it, man. We just chilling, having a good time, you know. And it's time for me to drive. It's time for us to get back in the whip to drive from Hattiesburg back to Jackson, Mississippi. And he pulled out his weapon. He was like, "Come on!" I'm like, "Dude, you ready to go ham on this tow truck driver? He just doing his job, man. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Put the gun down."
Mm-hmm.
Put the gun down, man. Look, man. Look, at the time, I ain't had no wife. I didn't have no job at the time. We were just college students, though. You know, living the best lives. But I was look, man. I got a future ahead of me, bro. You finna take it all away.
Yeah.
Man, let's play this. Let's pay this man $75, man. You know, I got I had like 30. I got 30 on me right now, dog. I can pay you when we get back to the crib. But come on, man. Look, if you shoot him now, who knows what would have happened?
Yeah, you could have been just coming home right now.
Right. I just not getting out there.
Yeah.
I just not getting out of slams now, you know.
I don't know. Just being down by association. I was the wrong person at the right time, but you with the wrong damn person, and now it turned into the wrong damn time.
Wrong time.
I get it.
I ain't hang out with Smooth no more. I can't tell you where he at, but I can tell you one thing. I ain't where he at, you know.
I can dig it. God bless you.
God,
you know what I'm saying? And keep it moving. And it's unfortunate somebody had to lose their life just out of a night of going out.
Right.
And you know, I see if they was coming at them on some crazy stuff, them dudes was walking away. They was going to their cars. And so I don't know, man. I can't speak on it. I wasn't there, so I can't speak on the way. It just don't look right.
You don't look right, man.
I'm gonna tell you like this: Calvin Joseph messing with the right team, and because Stephen Jones is cutthroat. I don't think he won all that bad stuff. That's that bad stuff is gonna come with that in Dallas.
Right.
I really believe if this dude get out of it and let Stephen them have a got a compassion for this dude to let him stay on this team, they might end up they be like, oh, he good, he cleared charges. Oh, we trading him. He out of here. Yeah, he getting released.
Yeah, because I told somebody the other day, for every Ray Lewis is also a Ray Caruth, or Aaron Hernandez, So yeah, we can look at this moment and say, yeah, it could be just like for Kelvin Joseph, it could be just like a Ray Lewis moment. But nah, for every storyline, not every story is the same. And at this time, in this situation, the sensitive, delicate moments like this, people looking for retaliation. People are looking for something to do harm because they looking at you now in the biggest and the brightest spotlights. But it is what it is, fam. Yeah,
because it's like, yo, you out here playing, you get away with it. You out here playing football. I see you on TV every day.
Right.
His family out there. His family out there in Dallas somewhere.
Yep.
People ain't gonna like that.
People ain't gonna like it, man. So.
They ain't gonna like that. So it's like, come on, bro. You gotta think before you do stuff, man. They already had red flags when you coming in the league.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? For your attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Big facts,
and
man.
My thing is like this, man. It's crazy, man. But hopefully this situation works itself out. Mad respect to my condolences to that man's family for him losing his life over something senseless, like real senseless. But
right.
I wasn't there, so I don't know. I don't know the temperature of the situation.
Right.
But I just hope that if this man get out of this one, I hope he I hope he turns into the next preacher on this team. You know what I'm saying? Become a deacon or something, a choir boy or something.
No doubt.
He better not be. I don't even know if he should rap no more. I think he should drop the whole thing. Just leave it alone.
Yep. And then I heard a Spotify, whatever how you say that, they came out with an announcement saying that the numbers ain't really that great anyway, you know. So, but they still, I think that they saying that they're going to pull it off of it or what have you. But it is what it is at this time. I just hope all is well with him and his mind's sake too. Get counsel, and go to the Jones family and just let them know all what happened so that they can resolve this thing and so that the Cowboys can get back to thinking football and getting to football. And I hope somebody can see this and they understand that, hey, we were just about to do something similar down the line, and they pull back. So it is what it is. But I appreciate you, Tariq.
All right. You take it easy, Law.
Yeah, anytime, man. A good call from him. And last but not least, the wonderful, the infamous, and I miss my Uncle Charles, y'all. What's good, Uncle Charles? What's good, man?
What's up, Lord? What's going on? What's going on, Cowboy Nation? Man, I like to say this. It's a beautiful day, and each day God gives us a great day. You got to, even if you broke, if you woke up this morning, that's a win, baby. That's what it is. Let me just say this, Lord. Let me say this, and man, we're having a beautiful day yourself. Let me say this about Boss Man Fat. Let me explain something to you. It's no different than a vicious dog in Memphis.
Right.
If you take a vicious dog in Memphis and put a vicious dog in Beverly Hills, what did that tell you? That's just a damn vicious dog in Beverly Hills.
Right.
You can take a person out the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out the person. Now, the Cowboys knew he had red flags.
Right.
This is what red flags look like. And let me tell you something. Let me say this to Boss Man Fat, by the way. I'm just sending you a carry-on package. Young brother, you are privileged to make it to the NFL. You got so many young cats don't make it.
Right.
You did. But what do? You waste around some knuckleheads. I hope they hear me. You know what? You want to hear me? That's why they're over there, and I'm over here. And so you're going to listen whether you want to or not. Don't you know the hand of one is the hand of all?
Ooh.
It makes no difference. He fired the shot. He was in the car.
Right.
And Texas don't play. A guy in Texas, a Latino man, he kidnapped 80 people in Walmart. You know what they gave him for that?
What they
gave him 100 years for each person. Now you time 100 years times 80 folks. He'll never see the light of day. Let me explain something to you, man.
Yeah.
My mama always kept our house clean, especially after that incident. My daddy was a hardworking man, but this particular time he come in the house, he had a headache, and my mama laid her medicine out on the counter. When he went in there, he taking his aspirin. Then we found out his birth control and said, "Daddy, you gonna die." And we had to call the guy birth control, try to get him where he thinking he gonna die tonight. And I told Daddy, please ask what them pills is before you take them. Let me just say this, man. We had a friend of mine. My mama always kept the house clean. Always kept it clean. But then my friend over there, come to find out, his dad hadn't cleaned this house in 10 years. And I went over in the kitchen over there, had a dry squirrel on the counter with his mouth wide open, begging to leave there. Just begging, asking for help. And he couldn't do it. He died with his mouth open. See, you got to understand, man. I want y'all, Cowboy Nation, I want y'all to look at success. Look at Law Nation. Look at where he started from. He started with his phone. Look at that success. Listen, it ain't easy for this young brother to get to where he at. He had to go through trials and tribulations. He had to go through hurdles. He had to avoid certain people to get where he at. This is what success look like. I'm telling Boss Man Fat. Do you know they will lock your ass up in Texas? You think them fools around there with them big ass gallon hats won't lock you up? But guess what? In the next 5 years, you'll have some wingtip shoes on and follow stone telling folks, you know who I used to be. I used to be Boss Man Fat, and now you're Boss Man Skinny. It's what it is, and ain't what it's supposed to be. This is what I'm talking about, man. Let me say this in closing. Man, let me tell you something. I came a long way in my life.
Right.
I was deemed as Uncle Charles on the Boston Lombardi show. I am a America's uncle. Whether you like it or not, I'm your goddamn uncle.
Yeah.
You can't do nothing about it.
Right.
It's what it is, what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So when I tell you something, I tell you from life experience, okay? I don't see the fool running down the street, buck naked, screaming and hollering, talking about he wants some donuts. I seen that. I don't see him joking around, man, putting their hair out their head and got rice in their mouth and sitting on top there playing with their marbles. I seen that. I see all of it. But my thing in life is not put myself in that same situation. If you're depressed, you need help, ask for it. If you think you can't be around people and act like you got some sense, get a goddamn doctor. That's what you need to do. Boss Man Fat made a choice. Yep. I didn't make it for him. Law didn't make it for him. The Cowboy fans didn't make it for him. He made a choice, and now he's gonna pay the consequences. And then people say, well, things happen. Yeah, things happen, and some things you can't control in life. I understand that, but you're supposed to learn from your mistakes. The day you signed that contract, you got a new contract. You should have had new friends, and you should have been around new people. It's what it is. It's what it's supposed to be. Now, that's all I'm going to say. You can take it, or you can leave it alone. It's what it is, baby. Much respect to the Cowboy Nation, my brothers and sisters. I love them to death. I love you, Long. You know what it is, and you know what it's going to be. When I come on here, it's what it is.
Yes.
And you either take it, you don't have to take it, because this ain't Stop, Still, and Hutch. This is Uncle Charles.
Yes,
it's what it is. That's all I got to say, Phil.
Gosh, man, that's good, Uncle Charles there. Yes, indeed. Oh, my gosh, yes, indeed. It's good. It's always a good message, man, from Uncle Charles, and his delivery is always on point. Yeah. And guys, I just want you guys to be mindful that none of us is faultless. None of us is perfect, right? And we all got to understand that our action may be what it is from our mistakes, our bad choices, our poor decisions, and all of those things. And we still have to get our consequences regardless of what we did wrong, right? Regardless of what we did wrong, the consequences still be there. Big respect for Uncle Charles, and there's always consequences and repercussions, right, from our mishaps. Unfortunately, that's just how the world is, cause and effect. This is what it is, Cowboy Nation. For those who are watching and you stayed all the way to this point and you have not hit that like button,
shame. Shame. Shame.
And if you're watching and if you have not shared this content,
shame. Shame. Shame.
Be sure to hit that like button, share this content, and let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboy Sports Talk and beyond.
Goodbye.
That's the good old call-in number there. It says goodbye. I just want you guys to know that this team heading into the 2022 season, it's not over with yet. This is just the beginning. It is just the beginning. So don't fall into the trap of, oh, man, this is what's going to happen. We don't know. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, the moment is here. The future is still bright. And it's time, Cowboy Nation, to understand this, write this down. This message for those who are out there who got things going on in their mind. Write this down. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you, if you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting or lied about, don't deal in lies or hate it and yet give way to hate. and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same. Listen to this part right here, Cowboy Nation. And this is real truth. If you can bear to hear the truth, you spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your whole life for, broken and stooped and build back up again with worn out tools. If you can listen to this part right here, Cowboy Nation, see the things you built and being broken down with worn out tools, just let that sink into your mind. That's deep, Cowboy Nation. It is. I tell people all the time, when you're up against the struggles, meet it squarely face to face. Lift your chin, set your shoulders, plant your feet and take a brace. When it's vain to try to dodge it, listen, do the best that you can do. You may fall, you may conquer. See that thing all the way through. And even hope may seem but futile, then with trouble may be beset. Remember, you facing what other legends have met. Troy Aikman, the playmaker, even Roger Staubach, right? They went through the same trials, huh? Cowboy Nation, keep your head high, eyes through the finish. See this thing all the way through, Cowboy Nation, and it will flat out happen. It will. As they say, I do not choose to be a common man. It is my right to be uncommon if I can. It is the will and the fortitude of my heart, soul, and sinew. Cowboy Nation, let's continue to grind. That's why I said, tell me not and mourn for numbers. Life is but an empty dream, for a soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. Life is real and life is earnest, and the grave is not his goal. Dust thy art, to dust returneth, was not even spoken of this soul. In his broad fields of battle and bivouacs of life, be not like a dumb-driven cattle, but be a hero. In the strife, lives of great men all remind us we can live our lives sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints on the mighty sands of time. Speaking of that, Cowboy Nation and everybody that's listening, my deepest condolences to everything that's going on in this world, right? People are leaving this dimension before their time. Well, that's the time that they was given. But they are in a place with no more pain, no more miseries. They looking down from the heavens and saying, boy, if I had another chance, or maybe if I could just whisper influences to these people that's listening right now. No more weeping and wailing, huh? I can just imagine a place with no pain, no more miseries. Hopefully, that's where they at. Cowboy Nation, that's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Boys. Let's go. We up out of here. Jerry, get this team right. Yep. Yeah.
Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's ice. I got wifey on, bling your shit.
Appreciate everybody for your support, love, and adulation for the nation. Jay Versick and Michael Hilton. Appreciate you. Shout out to you, Sadiqua. Thank you for being a member. Let's go, Stephen White. Thank you. Iceberg.
I used to be quiet and out of love. Now I move up and move humble cause they hate and the jealousy. My mama tell me count up your blessings and run it up. Yeah. Nowadays nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo, please, no photos.
Where my fatality?
No, please, no photos. I keep giving game away. I put game on layaway.
Nation.
I got paid to play today.
Come on.
I get paid to stay away. I get paid on rainy days. I might make it rain today. I got paid off pain today. Thought it'd take the pain away. In my own lane, finger roll.
Finger roll, baby.
Never sell my only soul. Heard your whole team was for sale.
Not all.
Heard it's on the market for the low. Who the realest? We might never
Law the
know.
realest, come on.
This acting, you gon' play a role. Give you the world when they sign you up. Try you out and then they line you up.
Oh.
Now you're looking hungry, ribs are touching, need some food. Now you're all on live acting surprised, but you was fooled. Boy, get out the way, it's been a day, now you're old news.
Come on.
Now you got the pen and pad, you're trying to take my moves. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please, no photos. Nowadays, nothing really excites me. Only one of me and nobody's like me. Phone ringing and I tell him it's I got wifey on bling and she freeze. Photo, please, no photos. G's, no, please, no photos.
If it's your birthday this month, happy birthday to you and you. We gone.
This is Sparta!